The evidence before the court usually has two forms. You will have a statement. That's your statement of evidence. If you like, that's your evidence in chief to a court if your case goes to a final hearing. And that will be quite a substantive document. It's your opportunity to set your case out, the relevant issues, and it also will address what is called the welfare checklist, which I will turn to in a moment, but to identify the statutory criteria that a judge or the magistrates that have to take into account when looking at what is in the best interests of the child. Depending on the timing of the statements, it might be that you are given an opportunity to reply to the other parent's statement. So again, it's your best opportunity to get your case right and to think about that in terms of your own evidence, the factual background to your case, what is relevant to the welfare issues, the checklist about the welfare of the children, but not to forget an obvious point which is sometimes missed, what your actual proposals are. And for those proposals to be well thought out and in the best interests of a child. The second type of evidence will be that welfare report. In England and Wales, we have an organisation called CAFCASS, and if you like, they are the welfare service appointed by the court to look independently at the welfare issues and to consider this welfare checklist. And that might be such things as the age of the child, the sex, their background, individual characteristics. The child may have special needs, for example. Another factor might be risk. Is the child at risk of harm, or potentially at risk of harm, or has suffered harm? These need to be considered. Other factors could be the effect of any change in the arrangements and how that could impact on a child. Again, each case is different. Another factor really being the range of powers that are available to the court. The court can make orders. The court can actually decide not to make any orders at all, and the court has to make an informed decision. And not to forget another factor being how capable are the parents or each individual parent or party in terms of looking after a child. So in the round, all these factors need to be individually considered but form part of this welfare report. And that CAFCASS officer will speak to the mother, will speak to the father or the relevant parties to hear what they have to say and what their case is, but ultimately to provide recommendations and conclusions for the judge to take into account. Now, that welfare report does not determine the outcome of the case, but it is quite clearly an important document that the court has to take into account when making any orders.